Good morning everyone, welcome back. We're having a floor class this morning. We're going to be doing everything lying down on the mat. So here's all our students lined up and ready to go. There's Bo over there, he's can't wait. And Kermit, Sherman, Teddy and Moo all ready to have a lovely class lying on their backs. Have something under your head so you're comfortable, and part of what we'll do is twists. So if you need something for under your knees, a cushion or a blanket, have that beside you. Okay, let's get going. Okay, I'm quite far away from you, but you do need to be able to see everything I'm doing. So hopefully this works. I've got a blanket for under my head. Just to begin with, I'm going to be putting the blanket in and out depending on what we do. And because it's a little sequence, and everything sort of moves into everything else, it'll be a little bit difficult perhaps for you to see when you're lying on the floor. So I'm going to give you a very, very quick run through of what we're going to do so that you know what to expect, and then you can just listen to my instructions, hopefully take it on board. Alright, so we're going to start in constructive rest, where we just lie with our knees bent, feet on the floor, hip distance apart more or less. And just tune into our breath. We're going to take a little moment there. And then with our palms down, we're going to start a little breathing meditation of inhaling the arms up and over the head. We'll do it slower than this. And exhaling them back to the floor. We're going to do that 3 times. On the 4th breath, you may bring your feet a little closer in towards you if you want to. And we're going to lift hips and hands together. Now, if your neck feels at all uncomfortable, which mine does actually at this point, I'm going to take this blanket out from under my head before I do that. So I would take it out first. Having done those, a few little back bends there just to warm up the spine, we're then going to draw our knees onto our chest, give them a hug. We're then going to wake up our hamstrings one at a time, just like this, sort of giving them a little stretch, again a bit slower than this. We're then going to go into some ab work, so I'll give you different options of ways to work your abs and things. Then we're going to do some strengthening twists, so we're going to have our arms out in line with our shoulders, and we're going to do some knees down to the sides, Jatara Parvattanasana. We can either do it with both legs bent, or I'll give you the option of straightening one leg. And then we're going to go into a cross-legged position where we're going to do some hip stretching. And once we've warmed up and stretched out our hips a little bit, we're going to take that into a twist as well. I'm a little bit close to the wall. You might not want to be so close to the wall in your room. Okay, so that's basically our sequence for the morning. So lie yourself down. Again, you can have that little blanket under your head just for now, and then take it out before we go into the back bend work. Okay? Okay, so I'm starting by lying down. If you hear the strange kind of wheeze, that's not me. There is Bo. He's got very long nostrils, so he's a bit of a deep breather, shall we say. Anyway, he's going to join us for the breathing meditation. Lie yourself down, get your head comfortable, and for the breathing, just for a moment, let your palms turn up towards the ceiling, arms a little bit away from your body. And just start to slow down your breath. Don't do anything else. You can close your eyes if you want to. Just slowing down the breath. Bringing yourself into the room and onto your mat. And when you're ready, turn your palms down. Keep the arms a little bit closer to the body now. And on an inhale, we're all going to go together and take the arms up over the head. So ready, and inhaling the arms up and over the head. Keep inhaling, 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 inhaling. Go as far as you can. Touch the floor if possible. There's a moment at the top of the breath, and then exhale. Try and bring the arms down and breathe out the whole time that the arms are moving. When you get to the bottom, just be in that stillness for a moment, and as soon as you need to, breathe in again. Inhale the arms up and over the head. Keep going. Stretch the arms, reach back, try and touch the floor if you can. And exhale, exhale, long and slow. Don't let too much breath leave all at the same time. Control it all the way down. Bottom of the breath, you touch the floor. There's a moment. And the last time on its own with the arms, inhale up. Feel that lovely pull on your belly as you stretch all the way back. And all the way back to the floor as you exhale. Exhale, exhale. Let your mind become quiet and still. When you get to the floor, just breathe normally for a moment. Now slip that blanket out from under your head if you want to. Bring your feet a little closer to you if you want to. And prepare for another deep breath where you're going to lift your head and your hips and hands together. Inhale, start to lift the hips and lift the hands. Pushing down through the feet. Create a nice arc with your back. A nice bridge. Holding at the top for a moment. And then slowly rolling yourself down, bringing the hands and the hips down together. Roll your way down through your spine, one bone at a time. Let your neck relax and move. At the bottom of the breath, there's a moment of nothing. And then inhaling again, lifting up hips and hands together. Nice deep breath. Feel your legs are not splaying away from each other. Keep some weight on your inner feet. And on the way down, you're like laying a pearl necklace down on a table. One pearl at a time. Feel the journey. Feel the journey all the way down as you exhale all the way to the bottom. Where there's a moment again. And we're going to do one more. Inhale, tailbone up, back waist, bone by bone, lifting off the floor. Feel where the stretch comes into the front body. Where do you feel it as you hold your bridge for a moment? Push down through the feet. And then exhale slowly, 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 all the way to the floor. When you get to the floor, I want you just to wait there without moving for a moment. Let your back relax into its natural shape. And then carefully pick up your knees one at a time. Gently hug them to your chest. Now lift your head and pop your blanket back underneath. On, hugging those knees, take a little rock from side to side. And then just in whatever feels good to you, straighten out your right leg. You don't want to feel the back of the knee, you want to feel the belly of the muscle stretching in the back of the thigh. And if you want the calf muscle more, you can push your heel up, just drawing it towards you. It doesn't have to be straight, just drawing it gently towards you. And breathe out, relax your shoulders. As you breathe in, let it move away from you a little bit. Take a nice breath. And as you breathe out, draw it in towards you. Feel that stretch one more time. Breathing in, let it move away from you. And breathing out, draw it towards you. Let's change legs. Just getting the feeling of the left leg now, just easing into it, and then we're going to again do 3 deep breaths. Take a breath in, letting it be relaxed a little, and as you breathe out, draw that leg towards you or straighten it a little more. Try and get that stretch in the right place. Breathe in, release a little. Breathe out long and slow, long and slow. I was listening to a pulmonary specialist who was saying it's really important that we do breathing, deep breathing at this time. Breathe in and breathe out. It says to increase the health of the lungs. We want our lungs to be healthy and strong. So lots of deep breathing. Let's go back to the first leg for a moment. And just do a little bit of twirling of the ankle this way and that. Let's give that ankle a warm up. And then go back into your hamstring, give it a nice stretch. Turn the foot gently while you're in the stretch as well. You'll feel where the stretch moves. And then changing again. Other leg, do the ankle first. Twirling it this way and that. Warming up the joint. And then coming a little deeper into the stretch. And again, maybe just moving the foot just a little bit in the stretch so you can feel where things change. Feelings of the stretch as you move. And then give them both a hug. A little rock. And we're going to come to a bit of ab work. So I want you to lift your head and shoulders. I want you to interlink your hands behind the back of your head. Don't use your neck muscles, okay? Try and rest your head in your hands. And now lift your tailbone up. Can you see what happens? My back waist flattens to the floor as I lift my tail up. See that? Keep that back waist glued to the floor the whole time. You have to be careful about your back. And then just extend your right leg at about 60 degrees. How does that feel? If that's strong enough, stay there. If you want to go a little bit stronger, just slowly start to bring it down. And as long as that back waist is glued to the mat, your back is safe. And then maybe a little slow movement up again. And change legs. Lift the tailbone in between each time, so you're making that adjustment, keeping your back safe. Maybe taking it down a little bit. Holding it or maybe bringing it up again if you're getting a bit tired. And one more time like that. Slowly going down if you want to make it stronger. Holding it where you want to. And then moving up against gravity. And change. Keep lifting the tailbone. Keep lifting the head and shoulders. Who's finding this particularly difficult? Can you hear him? And take a little rest for a moment. Was that exhausting, boy? Okay, we'll take both legs up. Try and lift your tailbone up. Lift your head and shoulders. And start to make bicycles. Keeping those head and shoulders nicely lifted, keeping the tailbone nicely lifted. Your bicycles can get nice and big if you want them to, but it's when you go lower like this towards the floor that it gets stronger. So I don't go too low because then I feel that my back is not flat anymore. I'm riding my bike. Keep riding. If it gets too strong, just go high with your bike. Keep lifting your tailbone up. If you want it to be a backward bike, you can backwards your bike. If you're getting bored, riding forwards. And change from one to the other. And take a little rest again. Head down, hug the knees. Take a little rock. We'll do one more, and this one will work into the side, the obliques as well, which gives you a nice curvy waist, should you want one. Head and shoulders up. Take your left leg away at about 60 and your left elbow outside your right knee. Now you can stay there or you can take it down a little. And then change sides. I want you to breathe in as you move and breathe out as you hold that contraction. Breathe in to move, breathe out during the hard work. Slowing it down makes it stronger. Don't rush it. We'll do 2 more to each side. last one to the right leg, last one to the left leg, and a little hug, a little rock. Phew. Feet down, relax a moment. Actually, I think we're going to add, at this point, something I didn't put in before, just because my back wants to do it. I'm going to take the blanket out from under my head again, so my head is flat, and I'm going to come up into Seti Balasana, my mini bridge. So I'm going to put my hands down beside me. I'm going to walk my feet back a little closer to me than they were, keeping them nice and parallel, my thighs, don't let them drop out. And just one bone at a time, just as we did before, but without the arms. Come up into your bridge. And this time walk onto the tops of your shoulders. Walk your shoulders underneath you. And you can either grip the sides of your mat with your hands, or you can interlink them and stretch them towards your feet. And if you get tired, just support yourself a little bit with your hands. You can rest your bottom in your hands. Okay, so we're going to do some breathing here. And those of you who worked with me before know about this. Rest first, hold on. So as I breathe in, I want to create more height. To do that, I push my feet down into the mat and forward towards bow. So watch, I breathe in, I create more height. Now I want to try and hold that height as I breathe out and drag my feet away from bow. You can see I'm not actually moving it, but you feel the work that goes on in the back chain as you do that. Breathe in, push forward. Find that height, that opening, hold and breathe out, drag back through your feet, through your shins, as though you're trying to push your shin bones into your calf muscles. Do 3 more like that. Breathe in, breathe out, drag, breathe in, breathe out. And last one, breathing in and drag back, really strengthening all the back muscles. Now release your hands, walk your shoulders away from each other one at a time. And as you start to lower your hips, keep pushing down and forwards with your feet. Let your chin lift and feel that whole journey all the way down. Relaxing back down to the floor, arms moving away from you a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in and out. If you need to hug your knees in, you can do that. Otherwise, just straighten out your legs for a moment. Feel how it stand on bow. Just feel how good your back feels. Okay, bend your knees, and carefully draw onto your chest again. So I'm going to put my blanket back under my head now. I'm going to draw my knees close to my chest, and I want to try and keep them there with my abdominals when I let go of my hands. So engage your abs and your pelvic floor muscles. Try not to let your knees pop away from you as you take your arms out in line with your shoulders. Breathe in, and on your exhale, go 3/4 of the way down to the floor. Don't let your left, we're going to the right, don't let your left shoulder lift, your left shoulder blade stays firm on the floor, and inhale slowly coming up to the middle. Now focus on your right shoulder blade, and as you're going down to the left, grow a root through your right shoulder blade. Really create that anchor, anchor yourself, and inhale slowly up. If you want to keep doing it with both knees bent, it's a little easier to keep doing that. If you're going to straighten one leg, only straighten it enough that your legs don't pop away from you. So if you're tight and you try to straighten like this, you're going to end up here. You don't want that. Keep it a little bit bent so that you can keep these guys really into your chest. And exhale down to the right. Brace yourself. I can't go very far because of the wall. brace yourself through your arms, push down through them. Inhale, slowly come back to the middle, changing legs en route. And exhaling down to the left, brace through the arms. Keep that right shoulder blade on the floor. And inhale back up. We're going to do one more to each side. So either one leg bent, straight or not. Exhale to the right and hold it there. Hold it as close to the floor as you can manage without straining yourself. You don't want to strain your back. Inhale up. Exhale down to the left. Keep grounded through your shoulders. Your shoulders are your anchor. And inhale up to the middle. You're going to hug your knees to your chest. And you're going to cross your left leg, the arm with the watch on, the left leg on top of the right. And you're going to hug them onto your chest. And what you're going to hopefully feel is your left, this area here, hip rotator area. Now, to make it a bit stronger, a few things you can do. Take your right hand to this ankle and draw it down. Pull the knees closer to you. And the other thing you can do is try and lift your back waist a little bit and press your tailbone down. I don't know if you can see it. If I do that, without letting these guys pop away, I really draw them in, and then I lift my back waist like that. It does make it stronger. And then just gentle rocking. You can rock back and forth. You can rock down to the right and up to the middle. Nice gentle rocking to try and start to work into that area. Bow, breathe you into it, into stillness. You can even make little circles with your knees if you want to. And then we're going to go all the way down to the right. So holding your knees where they are, you're going to put your arms out like you did before in line with your shoulders. Stay grounded through your arms and shoulders and slowly drop the knees all the way down. As far as you can. Find the floor with your feet as soon as you need to. If that doesn't work for you, I could have mentioned this before, put the one foot on the floor like that and take the twist at that angle. That may be easier for you, better for your back. Okay? So you can experiment, you can explore where you want your legs and your feet to be. Either down there or right up here. And coming into it just for another couple of breaths. As you breathe out, turn your internal organs away from your knees. So on the exhale, let your internal organs turn and spiral away from your knees. And on an inhale, bring yourself back up to center. Undo your legs and cross them the other way. Give them a hug. Start to really draw those thighs onto your chest. Take your left hand to your ankle. Be careful you don't sickle your ankle. You don't want to overstretch over here by pulling on your foot. So rather draw on the ankle itself. Pull it towards, pull the hip, the heel towards the hip is what I'm trying to do. Doesn't really matter where my other foot is, I can be slightly to the side to make it stronger. And I can do some lifting on my back waist. I can make some circles or some rocking. Let's give that right hip a nice little warm up. I hear my neighbour has started to cut some firewood. Let sound wash over you, let thought fade from your focus. Let your focus be on just feeling the sensation, the movement, and the stillness. And to bring this into the twist, you can either put your foot on the floor, that arms out, and twist from there, There's nothing to say you can't do both. Give that one a feel. Alternatively, you can be doing it right up in your chest. Just easing away into a delicious pretzel like twist. As you breathe in, imagine the left kidney lifting up, and as you breathe out, the right kidney sinking down. As you breathe in, let your left lung float up. As you exhale, your right lung floating down, sinking down, turning your organs around a spiral. When you come out of it, just be careful, watch out for your back. Come back to the middle, where you can give everything a hug. Little rock, and time to relax. Just spread yourself out on your mat. Nice deep breath in and out. And you can stay here as long as you like. I'm just going to say, this position, thank you and namaste. I'll see you again soon.